Hello everyone and welcome to another mekklord video. This time, once again, I am playing one of the most devious deck in this format. The last time I played the Vector deck or Chaos Chimera OTK deck, whatever you want to call it, I called it a pee-pee poo-poo garbage deck that was not good and was bad, but then I discovered a secret tech card that makes this deck oh so much more powerful. If you don't know what that is, it's time to thack. I'll say that's the cards. I mean, I didn't discover this, you know, Playmaker showcased it in his video 2 weeks ago, so I said I'm pretty much late to that conversation. But I didn't believe it at first. I was like, this card only gives you like targeting protection. It's not as good as the Sky Striker cards, Eagle Booster, right? But then I kept reading the card, and it has some very funny text on it. It allows you to target a face-up Xyz monster you control. It gains 300 attack for each material currently attached to it, and if it does, and it has material attached to it that is owned by your opponent, it can attack directly this turn. But then I realized, again thanks to the help of Playmaker, that the skill that puts Xyz monsters in your opponent's graveyard that you can then revive and rank up from with your cards, these Xyz monsters that come for your opponent's graveyard are being treated as being owned by your opponent. In turn, this means that opening Time Thief Pack is a very easy way to almost secure an OTK going second with rank up magic admiration 1000, giving you a above 7000 attack once the effect of Time Thief Pack is activated Chaos Chimera that can attack your opponent directly, which I think is supremely funny. I think this is one of the funniest things this deck gets to do. And of course, going first, something that I underestimated is this deck's ability to make a couple of key disruptions, going from Masquerade into either C104 Umbral Aura Masquerade, which is the only playable Umbral Aura card. Stop playing Umbral Aura cards in this deck, it's not gonna work. Or into Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray, which we can then equip with the Leo Arms to get 1 negate, or with the Pegasus Twin Saber to get 2 negates. That this one negate survives Droplet, but it does not survive being in my opening and every other duel. This is my least favorite card in the game. I hate this so much. I can't wait for this card to be limited one. And of course, there's one more trick up our sleeve. We can also use the Phantom Knight's rank up magic launch on the Masquerade Umbral with new material in order to rank it up into a number 24 Dragulus, the Vampiric Dragon, which can flip an extra deck monster face down. And if it is flip face up, if this guy is flip face up, not there's the monster flip face down, if it is flip face up, you get to send a card that your opponent controls to the graveyard. And if this guy is sent to the graveyard by a card effect controlled by your opponent, while it is face up, it summons itself face down from the graveyard, which is kinda neat. This card isn't as good as it seems. Something that I learned during these duels playing this deck is the monsters that come from the extra deck that your opponent just cheats out, like with the Clear Wing skill, with the Utopia skill and stuff, they're not being treated as having been summoned from the extra deck for some reason. So that, that's not really fun, that's not really interesting, but that's how it is. And with all these new tools and caveats in mind, I can now safely affirm that this deck is not garbage, it is just slightly above average. It's a deck that can take some wins super easily, cheat out some OTK, and have some disruption that maybe your opponent doesn't know how to deal with. But it's also a one-trick pony kind of deck that hates Graveyard Disruption, hates Book of Eclipse, hates Darkhold, and will lose to a lot of things, especially in Shadow format, where this is maybe not the greatest option out there. Anyway, enough yapping, let's take a look at a couple of replays. This first replay is against Sky Strikers, which is a deck whose cards we used to play, but not anymore. We're going first, so we're going to be able to demonstrate the deck's ability to set up going first, which actually they do have a couple of like tricks up their sleeve. Kind of appreciate that we did open the hack, and I was still playing Eagle Booster in that version of the deck, and then I realized I don't need to be playing Eagle Booster when I already have hack. This is basically just a waste of a card, and also makes you play worse because you're trying to engineer a scenario in which you can Eagle Booster, which means you only add on one monster, which is not the greatest. Glorious numbers will be revealed in order to get us a couple of rank up spells, and then a special summon our Masquerade from the graveyard. What a cool card. What an absolutely fantastic card. I drew the fucking horse. I hate this card. It's always in my opener somehow. Wow. How? I don't know. I should do the math. What are the odds of opening this piece of shit horse over and over again, forcing me to equip the Leo arms? Set the Eagle Booster pass. Not the greatest turn. Really disappointing. Basically, I've won negate. That's not good. That is not good. I'm just going to activate my Eagle Booster early because also I don't have free spells engraved. So all this is giving me is unaffected by card effect this turn. Which is miserable. This is nothing. This is pitiful. Maybe if I hadn't drawn this piece of shit horse, I would have been able to get access to 2 negates. I would have been able to, oh no, because it didn't tribute itself, it just Link Summon. That was kind of disappointing. And we're going to try and Kagari. This is the one thing I can negate, so I'm going to go for it. They already have the Eagle Booster. They didn't even pay attention if they searched it throughout the course of its combo. They just opened it. That's just so frustrating. They're going to go for the Achilles base. Say a card, then Link Summon the Ayate so they can punch me in the face. Activating Dark Rays in order to get up to 23. Make your module will send the Achilles base. They're gonna recycle their Kagari, attack me directly for 23. And then set an area 0 to the graveyard end phase. They will get to set the Eagle Booster. So that's a pretty decent turn. I'm gonna activate Eagle Booster early on to try and bait what I assume is a window anchor, and I assume correctly because now I just removed both of my opponent's disruption. There is literally nothing my opponent can do in the face of rank up magic admiration of 1000. Still, one of the funniest possible ways to close out a duel. We're gonna go for the big Chaos Chimera Dragon. Oh, look at it, so huge. Hey, look, I'm gonna also replace my Leo arms with an Umbral Aura. No, just the irregular Masquerade. I think it's funny. I'm just gonna do it merely for a card. Time to attack to my big guy, and then attack directly for a lot of damage, and that's lethal. Less optimized version of the deck that ends on only 1 negate because I drew this garbage horse, but still enough to win against Sky Striker. The second replay will be against Gravekeepers. Did you know people played Gravekeepers in 2025? Share if you play Gravekeepers, everyone, because wow, this deck, right? It doesn't really do a whole lot. Now they tried. I faced this guy twice on ladder 2. Look, I opened the fucking horse again. I hate this card. Also, activating Into the Void before activating my main skills to get my cards. Maybe not the greatest thing ever, but fortunately I did open a grand total of 3 rank up spells, which is kind of neat. We're gonna get to revive our Masquerade once again. Do we need to watch the animation once again, mekklord? Do we really need that very snappy, very cool animation of an incredible looking card? Yes, we do. And yes, we will watch it. Drew another thingy, Mill the Necro Valley. Rank up Magic Numerals Force. Don't forget, kids, playing Utopia, this card will negate everything that you control. As well, if you activate everything that's not the rank up monster. Hey, look, we're gonna go for Umbral Aura Masquerade. There he is. Set a glorious number, which we're then gonna switcheroo for our second copy of Masquerade. Shining Light Masquerade, Shining Masquerade, I think the original name of this card. We're gonna mail a Pot of Duality, rank up a Limited Variance Force into none other than the number 39 Ultimate Leo Utopia Ray, which is always treated as number 39 Utopia Ray for some reason. And in the end phase, I'm going to discard this piece of shit horse. So, We have a Cosmic Cyclone, we have a rank up magic launch. We should be doing okay. Our opponent's gonna normal summon Gravekeepers, Heretic, have a more schlag. The Heretic is immune to the effect of our Utopia Ray, but it's not immune to the effect of Cosmic Cyclone getting rid of a more schlag. Oh, jeez. Gravekeepers in 2025, huh? Gravekeeper stun. Yeah. Not the most favorable matchup for them, but a pretty good display of what this deck can do turn 1, which is why I showed this replay. Also, it's kind of funny to bully Gravekeeper players. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what this guy is playing. The preview card shows Nibiru. I've played so many of these duels that I just kind of lost track of. I really liked playing this deck for some reason. It's not that complicated to play. Our opponent's going first. Activate. Oh, it's Exosisters. Yep, they are playing Exosisters. They're gonna get the Ellis. They're gonna get the Pax. Payandra get a Stellar, which they're then going to be able to special summon because they already control the Ellis. Sakitama's effect will allow them to normal summon the Sakitama, put the Ellis and the Sakitama together into a Caspitel. And then they're going to flip overlay control. Caspitel is going to get a Sophia, which they're going to be able to special with the Stella on the field. Sophia is going to draw them a card. Overlay control is going to special an Ellis from the graveyard. They're going to put these two together into a Michaelis. Activate the Michaelis in order to get a Returnia, which is also pretty neat. Set 2 and put these two Xyz monsters together into an Exosisters Magnifica. So, pretty decent turn 1 for Exosisters. Hopefully I can deal with it. Activate into the Void. Activate into the Void. That's the mistake. I should really wait until I use my skill so I don't draw additional cards that I don't really want. You know, I guess it's not bad if I have rank up magic and stuff. So, activate autonomous action unit in order to bait out the Magnifica. Thankfully, they're just gonna get rid of it. So now I can activate the glorious number. My opponent is unfortunately going to switch out their Magnifica for the Michaelis here. Uh-oh. I get to summon Masquerade. We're gonna watch the animation once again. I do not care. This Masquerade is not long for this world anyway. Unfortunately, I don't think this guy is gonna stick on the field for very long, considering there's a Michaelis in front of me. They're going to activate the Sophia and the Returnia in order to get rid of my guy. And then Michaelis is also going to banish a thing from my graveyard. And then bam! A Caspitel that prevents me from summoning stuff from the graveyard this turn. Unfortunately, Time Thithak doesn't really care. I can activate rank up magic admiration of thousands because I did summon this turn. But what I can do is bring back this copy of Masquerade, mill Nibiru, activate the rank up limited magic variance force. Why do I do that instead of the Numeron force? Because I'm an idiot and I didn't want to negate the Time Thief Act that I had activated because I had forgotten about the thing that I told you not to forget about. Because I'm not a good player at this game. I'm gonna get to pop their last card. Also, I would not have been able to do this were it not for the with the Numeron force. Aha, that was all part of my trick because Umbral or Masquerade misses timing, so I pop the mirror force, boost my guy with Time Thief Act, and attack directly for lethal. It was all part of my plan, right? I did not misplay this one whatsoever. I just didn't want to play into the mirror force, even though the Time Thief Act would have been like good insurance against that mirror force. So there you go. I didn't misplay. It was all calculated. Gasp! Would you look at that? It's Utopia! Wow! It's Utopia being played by Yugi over here. Which I certainly haven't seen this version of Duel Monsters, but if you say so. So, we're going first, and we're going to get to set up on our opponent. We did open Glorious Numbers, which is like the funniest possible card ever. Look at Masquerade on this, it's just like, ah! This artwork is incredible. Glorious Number will revive our Masquerade. We're going to watch the animation once again. I do not care. We're just going to watch it. It extends the runtime of this video. And Daddy needs ad revenue, okay? So we're just going to watch it one more time. We drew the Blizzard, which is like the best card we could have drawn. Make our opponent mill a Vanish Sage. This effect pretty good, except against exactly Shadow, because you will sometimes get to mill them a Wendy or something. And now, it doesn't get to be fun anymore. Activate the Rank Up Magic Numerous Force in order to go into our big boy Umbral Masquerade. And now we're going to go for something a little bit different. Rank Up Magic Launch in order to go for the Dragulus. Wow, and then we're gonna set the Admiration of 1000. We don't need this card. And we are going to summon the Masquerade from our opponent's graveyard, which will then mill a Ganondala, because that's very funny. And rank up Magic Limited Variance Force into the Ultimate Theory Utopia. For once, I did not open this garbage horse, so I'm just gonna get to set Blizzard. So, this on board. Peak. All made possible thanks to Autonomous Action Unit, which is a premature burial for your opponent's graveyard, which works wonderfully with this deck and was also showcased in the Playmaker video that you should have watched instead of this one. So we have 1 negate, 2 negate, 3 negate or monster negates, one of which just works in a really fun QA. And the Dragulus in order to flip down something that our opponent is going to summon from the extra. It can't be the Utopia they get for free with the skill, because Duel Links plays by stupid rules. So unfortunately our opponent does have the Cosmic Cyclone, so I'm just gonna Blither that so that they can't Cosmic Cyclone the Pegasus Twin Saber. Why? Because then I will lose several negate and they're just gonna concede. That was kind of disappointing. Definitely could have won this one. It's not like I can do anything against, you know, click yellow button, Utopia into rank up Magic Numerons Force, negate my entire field. But for some reason, Yugi just gave up. What a shame. Ah, this one is playing Life Twins. Life Twins is a deck that I feel like has gotten a recent surge in popularity because of the Psychic Vision stuff that you get to do with it. So people are playing a Psychic Vision deck, and also this guy obviously non-Psychic Vision, but maybe he's thinking, hey, maybe I can sub-deck Respect Play. We're going second this time around. We're gonna watch the Kersikil summon a Lila, put these to your graveyard, Evil Twin Kersikil. God, this guy spent money to get these cards. This guy spent real money to get these cards, and he put like Chronicle effects that they're not the same. Look at this. Look at this. Jesus Christ. Gonna use the Trouble Sunny to summon these two, and then use the skill to draw an additional card, and then go for Trouble Sunny once again. Set 3 back row and pass. So that is a lot of potential disruption. Gonna reveal the glorious numbers, get limited variance force, get admiration of 1000, even though we're probably not gonna use that. Activate Time Keep Thack, try to bait one of the disruptions. We will eat a Cosmic Cyclone for our efforts. Activate glorious number, very important that you don't forget that you can only activate this card if you control no monsters. So if you control one monster, you can't activate this card anymore. You wasted your cards. We're gonna go for Masquerade. We're not gonna watch the animation this time because this Masquerade is not long. For this world, it will just get pop, and because it is a light, I don't even get to rank up it for basically free to disruption. However, what I will get to do is special number of Masquerade, which will get hit with the Forbidden Droplet. I'll let that go. I don't really care, because I can just activate a PK, a Rum, in order to rank up my thing into another thing. Hey, look, here it is again. Bam! Here is Dragulus. And I'm gonna set the Numeron Force. Send it away. I'm trying to think of the lyrics of Dragula by Rob Zombie to make a pun about that. I write it in the back of my Dragulus. That sounded extremely wrong. Anyway, we're just gonna get to summon another Masquerade, Melee Book of Eclipse, and then turn this Masquerade into Umbral Hauler Masquerade to pop our last opponent. Back row, goodbye. Second Forbidden Droplet Autonomous Action Unit will then revive a thing in our opponent's graveyard with which we can lethal our opponent. I was going to go, and you're gonna have to take my word for it. Where is it? Because the skill puts it in the graveyard. I was going to revive Battling Boxer Exosisters because this one has the Flame Wingman sort of effect, and it has 2800 base attacks, so that's probably the easiest way to close out this game from this position. This guy is on Tachyon. It is a Baryons battle between Baryons brothers. I don't know if they're brothers. I haven't finished watching Zaxel, so I really need to get to that. Tachyon Dragon Domination. Wow, one of the skills of 2024. One of the omens of the hills that would strike Duel Links in the following month that I'd continue striking this game. So once again, glorious number, get me my masquerade. Yeah, we can watch the animation this time. We can watch it, you know, yeah, God, that is such a cool card. This guy is insanely cool. It's insane. This is peak Yu-Gi-Oh design in my opinion. Peak Zexal design at the very least. Look, I milled a Radius the Half Moon. Which I guess is a decent card to be playing in the Utopia format. You know, that's an interesting tech. Not going first, but that's an interesting tech. We're gonna go for the Umbral Horror Masquerade. Set the Admiration of the 1000. I'm playing two because there's always presumably one that I'm going to send to the graveyard in order to facilitate my turn 1 combo. So I get the Masquerade. There he is. We milled the Omni-Negate. I felt so good about that. Oh, I felt so good about that. I don't think they can activate it from like hand or anything. I think the skill now sets it anyway, but it feels so good. Time to attack. Utopia gets me this. Set the ROM, and we're gonna keep this copy cycling for later. Maybe I don't need the time feedback. You know what? Maybe I don't need this card. But it's incredibly funny to get anyway. Short side Limit Dragon, Nebula Dragon. You've seen these cards in March 2024. You don't need to see them again. We don't need to rememorate Tachyon format. That was a garbage format, right? 2024 was full of those. But Tachyon format, Tachyon Shiranui format, absolute worst format of 2024. Even Lyrilisk format, I feel, wasn't as bad or obnoxious. Now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm reconsidering. Because Assemble Nightingale was an incredibly annoying card to deal with. Especially if you weren't on Forbidden Droplet. But then they released a counter in the form of Predator Plants. So... anyways, whatever. They're gonna put these two guys into Galaxy Satellite Dragon. You activate the skill. You can't get your Omni-Negate anymore. It sets it to the field, so we're not be able to activate it anyway. Rank up Magic, Baryons Force. No! Okay, so a very funny thing about this card is it will steal the material from my Umbral Aura Masquerade. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny that such a Baryons card exists? This card is vastly inferior to the other Baryon options, right? The rank up Magic options, rather. Hey look, I'll just get to make my Dragonless now. And that's super funny. Anyway, before my thing got negated, I made sure to prevent this from being activated, because otherwise it can negate my old shield, but now it can't. Ah! Look at that. I'm going to try and attack and use the Galaxy Satellite Dragon. Very funny, I can just Pegasus Twin Saber that, so he just wasted that attack. Incredibly, this is incredibly cathartic. Like a year and a half later to beat Tachyon. Look at Victor's face. He's happy too. So am I. Such a fun duel. For me, not for them. And last but not least, a mirror match. Just kidding. I am playing against Exosister Springans, one of the coolest deck of this entire game. It is insane how based this deck is. I'm a huge Springans enthusiast, I'm a huge Exosister fan, and I'm a huge Albaz fan in general, Kunwas. We did not open Glorious Number. Not the greatest, but we can make do with that, right? We just need to get lucky with a thing that we draw. Into the Void, get me something good. Hey, Blizzard's not that bad. Blizzard's not that bad. We're gonna get to send the Admiration of the 1000 in order to turn into Vector and get ourselves a Masquerade. Masquerade will mail a Buccal Eclipse and then rank up into a Sea Masquerade, the Evil Masquerade. Ooh, time to attack. Kind of a mistake here. This card is really not doing anything for me. And I'm losing a Cosmic Cyclone, which I should have just lost this, right? Set the Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of the field spell. Kind of annoying, but I choose my tune. So, opponent's gonna activate Springans Booty. Springans Booty is gonna get them the field spell. I could have Cosmic Cyclone that. Springans Watch. They're gonna get a Branga, and then get to send a Brothers. The Brothers will then revive the Rocky, which they're then going to try and activate. You know what? I'm just gonna Dark Plunder now so I can bait the Albaz, rank up my guy because it no longer has material. Forbidden Droplet will take care of this, and the Blizzard will take care of the Forbidden Droplet. So that's not happening, unfortunately. I am going to go for my big thing, and then the Vulnerable Albaz will summon the Rocky. Will get negated. They're going to lose 2,000. Vulnerable Albaz will try to trigger by discarding the Forbidden Droplet, but I'm just going to flip my guy face down so it can be used as fusion material, and the fusion fizzles. That's a pretty cool interaction. Anyway, they're just going to go for Exosister Caspetel from this point forwards. Caspetel will get them a Sophia. I'm thinking there's no way their last card is like playable. They haven't normal summon yet. They're going to use the Sophia to draw a card and reveal an Exosister Airless. Oh no! And this is basically curtains for my deck, because from this position, they're just going to get to make Magnifica and banish my guy. And there is nothing I can do about it. Goodbye, Draglewis. Doesn't get to revive because it was banished while face down. Hello, Magnifica, and gotta know when to fold them. So that was a reminder that sometimes you can win duels, especially when your opponent is on a better deck than you. And that's the deck. Like I said, it's just slightly above average. It is a one-trick pony kind of OTK deck that it's pretty fun to play, not gonna lie, but it's not that great, right? And more importantly, it's really not good in a format defined by Shadow, which doesn't really care about the disruptions that she can set up. I can just replace them. And against Utopia too, because Lava Golem is a card that exists, so this deck has a lot going against it, and very few things going for it. But goddamn, isn't it super funny to OTK your opponent with Time Thief Hack of all things. This is one of these decks that would not exist without the completely bonkers skill that is Strongest Barrier. Not bonkers in a sense that it is the most powerful thing ever, but bonkers in a way that it once again breaks the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Just to allow this one specific deck. I don't mind in that exact scenario. Like for this deck very specifically, I don't think this is like ruining the game or anything. His deck is not that good. His deck is pretty funny to play and to face, but it is a testament to how little dueling skill designers actually care about what little integrity Yu-Gi-Oh! Has left. So that will be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. If you'd like to support me further, you can also check out my Ko-fi in the video description, or become a member of this channel. This is the very first video in which I mention memberships and the people that do support me through memberships. So I want to thank both my Ko-fi donators and my newly acquired members. Thank you to Dingus, Boy 0, Jimmy, Zinnia, Yannick, Sile, Mark Lee, 1416, the Abyss Actor Guru, Orc Price, and Exorcist. Thank you all for the support. And to my members, a big thanks to Sternay and Crimson Reaper 5 as well. I really appreciate the support. Not sure what I'm gonna be working on next, so stay tuned for my next video, which maybe it's gonna be the ban list announcement and reaction, and we can all have a jolly good laugh of how Konami botched this format once again. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching this. Take care everyone, I will see you all next time.